Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. And I love it. I got it going on YouTube. We got a couple more platforms we're going to do things live on, but we'll get there as soon as possible. I just brought her in and she's on. I got my camera on too. Woo wee. What can I say? This is natural. This is Black History Month. And I always say it should be every day, not just 28 days out of the month. We got an extra day this year because it's leap year. But I am fortunate to have this young lady on. She's been away for a while. It's been partly my fault. I'll take totally blame for this. And I called her and told her I apologized to her. So it was my fault. Probably first time she heard a man ever apologize for something too. You know how that is. But we did apologize. But we got some big things going on. And she is a financial expert. And if you want to ruffle her feathers, you mentioned 401k. I guarantee you that. I guarantee there's no ifs, ands, or buts on that one. So let me see. We are on here, and let me see. I'm gonna make sure that we on here live on everything. And things just been moving a little slow lately. I don't know what it is. I want to know if it was me or the internet, or I will say the internet. I'm not gonna blame me for this one. But anyway, good afternoon, young lady.
Good afternoon. How are you, Ron?
I am doing good. I am doing good. And like I said, anytime you was ready today, I'll pop on and we could do this. So,
Yes.
but I've been watching some of the stuff you've been putting out on Facebook. I've been sharing it as soon as I see it,
Good.
just to get the word out and everything. So there are, with tax season coming around,
Yes.
a lot of people didn't do what they're supposed to do last year this time to come up to this year for tax season where they don't have to pay. But they turned around, didn't go on their form and adjusted to put a little more money on there because you
Okay.
know what people don't get. The last administration was here. They so-called gave us a tax break. What they did, they gave us more money without taxing whatever it was. They gave us more money. Our paycheck looked good. So those who was getting, like, let's say $6,000 back a year, once that new tax deal went in, you get maybe $1,500. You know,
Yeah, they did some type of adjustment with the taxes as far as the brackets are concerned.
right?
Yeah, but I don't know if I would call that a tax cut,
The,
but
it wasn't
it,
it wasn't even a tax break. It was laughing at you.
yeah, and not only yeah, you're right. It was laughing at you, but what's
Yeah,
gonna really laugh at you is the actual tax cuts that the prior and previous administration put into place are going to expire
yeah.
January 2026.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you're really gonna be laughing at or
Oh,
crying.
oh,
Because you think taxes are high right now. Wait
yeah.
until then.
So
Taxes are going to skyrocket.
and then when the pandemic was in, they gave everybody all this child care credit. They were getting that 6, 7, some get back $9,000. And then when that went away, they got upset because they was getting back to regular 1,500. I know a couple of CPAs that said people were upset and went to other CPAs, thought they were doing something wrong. So what they did, they ended up paying one CPA, then paying another, then paying another. It came to the same conclusion. This is all you're getting back.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not a tax expert, but I'll say that I believe that the money that they were giving away for the tax credit, it wasn't free money, right? They was just
Yeah.
giving you the money up front,
Right.
right? Instead of you getting it, at tax time, you got it up front.
And then when
So of
tax,
course,
yeah,
once you file the taxes, you're not gonna get anything back because you
yeah.
already took the money. You already took the credit.
Okay.
So
So now, what the deal we're in right now, they said this is a good year, record numbers of jobs and everything going in, record numbers of this and that, but inflation is still taking a great big bite out of us.
that's
And
true.
and me myself personally, we have a what's that thing called? Um, Something you put back. Um, I can't think of the name of it now. You put money back just in case something happened.
Emergency fund.
Emergency fund. There you go.
There you go.
Could think of that. But a lot of people say they can't do that now because of the inflation. Not asking this one key question. Before the inflation, why didn't you do it?
Hmm.
You know,
Fair question.
and they couldn't answer. I said, because if you had an emergency fund, you could have dipped into that emergency fund to get the things that you're doing. But you didn't do that. That's what emergency fund was for something like this that's happening. But
Yeah,
you
for something like COVID that hit and the repercussions of
exactly,
that. Yes.
exactly. So,
Yes.
what's your advice to people out there now, right now?
Right. My advice to people right now is to stop spending on frivolous items if that's what you're doing. Right. This if COVID taught you nothing else, it was that things happen, right,
Yeah,
that are out of your control. And if you don't plan, you will fail. Right. So
yeah,
you have to, I think a lot of people need to keep in mind that putting money up and saving it in an emergency fund is should be top of mind right now. Because we haven't, this isn't the last we've seen of a financial catastrophe. We have several more on the way.
yeah. Uh,
And people need to keep that in mind and start planning ahead for that.
they should start doing it now because this is
Yep.
the election year, and no telling what we're gonna get.
Don't have
So
no idea.
we gotta be prepared for whatever's coming our way.
Yep. It's
And
time to start planning now for your future, for tomorrow, right? Because COVID hit us just like that, right? We had no warning. We didn't know
mm-hmm.
what was to come, right? So, yes, it is time to tighten up those pocketbooks, first string, and start saving for rainy day,
Yeah,
for
because
sure.
when COVID hit, people thought, "Oh, it'll be a couple of days." They didn't know it was gonna be a couple of years,
Right.
and that
Yes.
caught everybody. You know what made it so bad? Not only for mom and pop stores, some of the major chains went out of business,
Yeah.
and
A
and
lot of
what
businesses
and
suffered.
what that was telling me, they wasn't that too much business savvy. If they let COVID something like this hit them, if you got a major corporation making $1 billion or $1 million, whatever it is, you would think they would have some emergency fund themselves.
Or you talk about corporations or the mom and pop small business?
Both,
Yeah.
mainly
Well,
the
they're
corp.
definitely the main ones. The main
Yeah,
corporation, yeah, I don't understand the excuse for that. But I will say for the small businesses and the mom and pop stores, obviously people, we were shut down, right? So
mm,
workers couldn't come to work. And, those that did came to work, they were on the front lines and
yeah,
exposed, right?
exactly.
But another thing that COVID brought out was a lot of people kind of saw what a job or an employer for what they really are, right?
Yeah,
And it was like, why am I doing this? Right? Let me start a business, right? Or me kind of, let me take this time to kind of sharpen or identify my talents and see if I can, monetize off of that.
you,
Right? So yeah, took a lot of hits.
the best
And five
business.
workers.
Yeah, the best business to me, my own personal opinion, they came out of this. The people who came up with the great big signs saying "Happy Birthday," whoever
Oh,
came up
the
with that
yard
idea,
signs.
oh, that was brilliant.
Yeah.
And nobody had to come in your house or anything. You set up there, you
Yep.
put everything out there. They had those drive-through birthday parties and all that. I said
Yep.
somebody was a genius. See, when things like this happen, your mind starts working. How can I make money without making
Yep.
contact with people?
Exactly. Exactly. And that gave a lot of people the opportunity to really sit with themselves and think about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. I think that was a good thing that came out of it. I think a lot of people left the workforce,
Yeah.
you know, in search of peace and freedom, right?
Mm.
So I think that's a good thing,
Now,
actually.
now, CPAs, people like you with your business and stuff like that, y'all already was able to work away. the way your job is structured, you don't have to be in office and be in your face. You can do everything over the phone, via Zoom, and that's one thing that took off. Nobody heard of Zoom till the pandemic hit.
Exactly. The Zoom took, yeah, and Zoom took because I'm an accountant in by background wise. Corporate accounting is was my background, but I'm now in financial services, and the financial services industry never took a hit.
No.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
We just pivoted, right? We just pivoted to Zoom, and actually our industry is hot right now.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we're one
believe
of the
it.
top paying industries in the world
Wow.
or in the country.
Can you train me so I can leave radio and come help with you?
Absolutely. I'm always looking for good talent, right?
Looking
'Cause,
at you, she said yes right away.
let's go, Ron.
But when the pandemic did hit, I had first got my first studio for the radio station in January of that year.
Mm,
And I had a few interviews. It was going good. I was ready to take it to another level. And then it hit. I couldn't get a guest to come in my show. I wouldn't want them to come in, you know.
no,
And
yeah,
then and I was by June, I had to tell them I had to go because what I was doing was all my equipment was in there. It's like a warehouse with nobody there. So I took everything back home and got out of it. And I was fortunate enough that with the radio, I could work from the house. So I didn't skip a beat. But I was working full time then. And what happened, I had one of those jobs that was one of them needed ones. So
uh,
I had to go to work.
yeah,
So that helped out. So I went to work. Actually, we worked from home most of the time, and so I was able to do the radio station with ease and still do my work and everything. But
yeah.
a lot of people didn't have that, wasn't that fortunate to do things like that. A lot of people lost homes, businesses. I heard domestic violence and divorce went up because people got on each other's nerve.
Yes.
It was something. But the bottom line is, with all that going on, they need businesses like yours to
Yeah.
help them cope with. Okay, I made it through this one. Will I be able to make it through the next one? What do I
Yeah.
need to do to prepare myself? So
Correct.
what do you say to not only small business owners but everyday married couple or single people? What should they
Yep.
do now? Right now, what should they do to make sure they cover for the next time something come along?
Well, the first thing they need to do is sit down with me and have a free financial consultation so we can look and see where they are, right? But prior to doing so, you really need to take inventory of your finances, right? That goes for everything. Your investments, what your goals are, what you're saving for, and let's see if you have any holes or any gaps in there, right? And people need to really, and I can't really stress this enough, taxes, right? I mentioned a financial calamity is on the way, right?
Hmm.
This country is sitting at a 34 trillion in debt right now. $34 trillion in debt. This is not sustainable for our country, right? How is the government going to pay that debt down? They're going to increase taxes a great deal. So when you think about that, think about, where am I saving my money? Is all of my money saved someplace where I'm saving on my taxes today, but I have to pay my taxes in the future? Well, in the future, how much are your taxes going to be? We know what they are today. We also know, and it has been predicted, that tax rates are going to skyrocket in the very near future. Do you want to pay taxes on that big nest egg that you have growing right now in the future? Or should you be paying for it now? Paying the taxes little by little right now.
Yeah.
Right? Diversification is key. Where you have your money, understanding how money grows, right? And make your money work for you. And that's financial literacy and education that is not quite well known in the mainstream, right? You're taught one way because that's basically all you know, but there are other ways and other avenues to take when it comes to putting money back and making sure your money is actually working for you and not working to your detriment.
So let me ask you something. I'm gonna say the word that you don't like hearing. The 401k.
Yeah,
Will
401k.
will 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 it be smart for somebody to pull that out and put it somewhere else? And if they did, would they still get penalized for
Hmm.
pulling it out?
Yes, they would get penalized for sure. So if they are under the age of 59 and a half, yes, they will be assessed a 10% penalty and have to pay taxes on that money. So I wouldn't tell anyone to pull out of their 401k right now.
Okay.
Not especially if it's a 401k that they have currently on their job. Well, if it's a 401k that they are still working at that employer,
Hmm.
they really can't pull from it anyway. Right now, you have those individuals that have left jobs 10, 5, 3 years ago, and they left that old 401k there. Then there's options to move that into someplace else. Not pull it out or withdraw it and assess the penalties, but
Right.
there's options to move that into a more protected instrument, right? That is protected from market loss. And I think that's the key point and key message I want to put out there, right? That having all of your eggs in one basket that is directly tied to the stock market, we know what the stock market does, right?
Right.
It's up and down,
Hmm.
right? How about putting some of your money in somewhere that's more protected, that you're not subject to market loss, but you're only going to get the market gains, right?
Yeah.
That's some of the things that I help clients with, to do stuff like that. So I wouldn't say no. So to answer your question initially, no, do not pull money out of your 401k if you're not older than 59 and a half, because you will get assessed a 10% penalty.
So
No.
what would be the difference them moving it to another account without being penalized? Can they do something like that?
Yes, then that will be called a rollover,
Okay.
right? And it would literally be a 401k account is what's known as a qualified account, right? You would then be rolling that over to another qualified account. However, it would be in a form of a fixed indexed annuity, right? In a fixed index annuity, you have guarantees in a fixed index annuity. The biggest guarantee is that you will not lose money due to market volatility.
Mm.
Contractually, you cannot in these accounts. To me,
Okay.
that is the number one reason to move, right? Your money from either an old 401k that you had with an old job, or say you have an IRA, right? An individual retirement account that you're just unhappy with its performance, which I hear that a lot. Okay, well, let's move that somewhere where you're guaranteed to not, have those market loss. You have the protection from the market as far as the volatility goes in the market.
Now,
So,
this is what happened to me. I'm of age. When you said that it won't be that much penalty if you're so much of an age, I was that age. So I took my 401k, moved it over, and I was short. So I asked them, why was I short? Well, they point blank told me that they weren't going to put in what they said they were going to put in because I retired. I said, is that written down somewhere y'all could do that? And
yeah,
basically it was. And
in the
so,
little fine print.
yeah, exactly. And that was my fault because they'll help you out. But if you take it out and move it somewhere else, they're not going to give you the part that they put in.
So they wouldn't let you take the match. They
Right.
just they just let you take whatever you actually contributed.
Exactly.
Wow. See, that's what I'm saying.
See?
It's a joke.
Yeah.
The 401k, I'm sorry, it is. The
Yeah.
401k is not meant for the average person. It's just
Right.
not. You have to you have to really study and understand how the 401k works, all the way back to this history of why the 401k even came into play to begin with. The risk, 100% of the risk is now on you, the employee. Period.
Mm. And
And do
that
you want to gamble with your retirement savings? All of your retirement savings? Is I mean, just think about it.
is that
Do
what
you want
happened?
to gamble with that?
Yeah, is that what happened? Who was it? Enrod? when everybody lost all their money, people
They were shredding documents.
yeah, people was committing suicide 'cause they lost everything.
You know what? I was Enron happened around the time I think I had just graduated from college, or
Yeah,
getting ready to graduate from college. Yeah, yeah, that was a lot.
yeah, it
Um,
was.
there was some lessons probably should have been learned from that,
Yeah,
but
it should have been. Now, one thing that I did learn a couple years ago, I was meaning to bring that up with you a while back, is I was talking to somebody about his business,
hmm
and he said he never touched his own money. I said, "Well, how is that?" He said, "I get a loan, and the neat thing about a loan is when you get it, they can't add that as income coming in
nope,
because it's a loan. So he got that loan and used his loan for everything and paid it off. When he paid off, he got another loan. So it was never
borrowing, using other people's money,
exactly. So
right?
he said it's a game. You got to learn how to play it because a lot of people will use the money that's coming into the business. They use that and that's income, and they
hmm
tax that. You use a loan that's not taxable because it's a loan.
That's true.
You want to explain it? Did I explain it right or?
No, in terms of a loan, you're correct.
Okay.
That is not taxable as income. But are you speaking more of he had his own family bank where he borrowed against that using an insurance product?
No, no, that's another good one. I heard that one too. But no,
Yes.
he borrowed straight from a business loan from a bank,
Okay.
and
No,
that
I
was
think
it.
no, that's good. Especially, I would caution on the interest rates of that, right? Because
Right.
obviously he has to pay interest on that, and
Hmm.
depending on how much that is, that yeah, that could be a good deal,
You know
right?
that's funny because I went to a bank years ago trying to borrow some money to get things going. I wanted to borrow 10,000. I'm not ashamed to say it, and they said, "All right, everything looked good, but we will give you the money if you had over $100,000 in your account right now." I looked at them. I said, if I had that in my account right now, why would I be
Why
in there
would
ask
I
for
be
ten
needing
thousand
it?
dollars?
Exactly. Very true.
So it's a game out there,
It is,
and
but and that's another and I mentioned the family banking aspect, right?
yeah,
Leveraging insurance products for that very reason.
yeah,
Go and loan the money from yourself
mm-hmm,
as opposed to having to go to a bank, run a credit check. You might get denied because we get denied more than anything.
yes,
Right. Okay. So another reason, right? Like
yeah,
there are other avenues out here that you can leverage and use and borrow against your own money. Borrow,
right,
you know what I'm saying? Use yourself as a bank.
mm-hmm, and a lot,
Borrow and use the arbitrage concept,
yeah,
right? So yes. And that's some of the financial education and just things that people don't know that the wealthy have been doing
for
for
years
years.
they never use their money.
No,
Okay,
no.
let me ask you something. Now, when you get a grant, we know you don't pay a grant back. Let's say you get a grant for your business. Is that income?
Oh, you asking now. I'm not a tax expert. That's a
Okay.
good question. No, I want to know that myself.
You
I
writing
don't.
that down?
I don't.
Do I
I'm
see?
looking it up.
Oh,
I'm not a grant expert, nor am I a tax
okay.
expert. I will not claim to be.
Right. So that's one thing I would like to know because I got
Yeah.
several things out there for grants, and it dawned on me. Said, well, that goes towards income to my
Hmm.
business. Do I have to report that because it's a grant?
That's a good question.
Okay. Every once in a
Hmm.
while, I'll come up with a good one every once in a while.
Yeah. Let's see. It's a grant taxable income. So if it's a personal grant, they usually aren't taxable if you adhere to the conditions for receiving and using the money. So personally, no. If you're doing a small business grant, it is taxed as income on your federal tax return.
Ooh. Okay. What about nonprofit?
Now you asking me all these questions. I'm not an
Yeah,
expert. I'm literally
say.
just going on
I
this.
know, I
Look,
know.
no,
But
I am not a tax expert. I am not a grant expert. Please
yeah, we got a
do
disclaimer
not
right now.
quote me on this. Talk to your
Yeah,
CPA.
we're not. I'm just throwing out questions that come in my mind because I think this young lady know everything. That's why I'm asking her.
I stay in my lane. I stay in my lane.
But you know that those would be some questions that people need to do before they go out and do anything like that. All
Yep.
right, I'm getting a $10,000 grant. Okay, what is the taxes on that $10,000 grant?
Yeah. And what are you using it for?
Yeah,
It said if it has conditions around that,
yeah,
that you have to adhere to, whether you're a
right.
small business or personal,
See,
getting a personal grant. Yeah.
see how I hit you up already. We got away from your financial stuff, and I just hit you up with that.
I see.
um, talk about that deal you coming up on the 12th. What's going on the 12th? If I read that right.
Yeah. So we are having an event online on the 12th called Strategic Money Moves, right?
Mm,
And I'll be hosting this. It'll be an online event, and it's going to go over tax strategies, right? And how to avert, paying so much in taxes
yeah.
legally, right? We don't want to avoid taxes. Tax avoidance is illegal, but tax evasion is not,
Okay.
right? And just kind of giving people some education around certain tax codes that are there and that have been there for a century or for years, right? That we
Mhm.
don't know about that we could leverage, right? And pay less in taxes legally.
Okay.
And this
So
goes from all income, statuses.
yeah.
All people, right? All income statuses could benefit from this information.
Okay. I'm looking up something real quick.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, I'm gonna post that on your. I can post that on your Facebook, right? Unless you have
yeah.
it.
Yeah. You go ahead and do that.
Okay. No, that's awesome. It's it'll be a great event that's just gonna last an hour. Definitely worth coming out to and listening or tuning
Let's
into.
see if I got it on.
Rather
That's
than
that's
be
on a Monday, right?
on Monday. Yeah, it's this Monday coming up at 7 p.m. Central Standard
Oh,
Time.
good. Whew, I'm glad you said that. I should be able to make it because I'm looking at my my doggone calendar and I got like 6 things on a Monday to do, but
Uh-oh.
the evening time is free.
Yeah.
So
I'll post it in your comment section on your Facebook
okay,
too.
all right.
Yeah, for
Because
your viewers.
because
Yeah.
one thing I'm doing on Monday, this will be my fourth year being Bear County election judge. And
Oh, really?
yeah, and
Good.
so we got to review what's coming up in the primary on the 5th, which I tell everybody to go vote because you're talking about taxes. That's going to have a lot to do with who we're going to put in office
It
on,
does have
on,
a lot to do with
on
it.
how this
Very
is
true.
going to change.
Yeah,
So,
local elections are just as important, if not more important.
exactly, and people don't realize that. You can have. Listen, I'm gonna throw a number out there. Don't quote me on this number. You can have 900,000 people go out on a major election and vote. When it comes down to the local election, you may get 125,000.
Yeah, very true.
And we need more than that because local. It starts local. People don't realize that it starts local. We got to take care of home first.
Very true.
And
And that's how a lot of things get changed, and it kind of swept under the rug until it happens, right? Because
right.
don't know.
Yep. Yeah, which was taxes. Because I'm gonna bring this up, the sales tax. That comes up for the local election. Via and who else is it? CPS and SAWS. They all put that in there. They want an increase in rate.
And they are about to have a rate hike. I
Yeah.
believe definitely CPS is about to have a rate hike this year.
Yeah.
A pretty nice hike at that.
Right.
Yes.
I think they said the average electric bill will go up anywhere between $10 and $15 a month.
Yep.
And you times that by the people that's in here that pays electric bill, that's billions of dollars coming to them.
Billions of dollars.
Yeah. So those are things we got to look out for with taxes. When people think of taxes, they think, oh, income tax. No, my brother and sister, it's a lot more than income tax.
Very true.
It's a
Sales
lot
tax.
more.
Yeah, it's a lot of taxes. We pay taxes on everything,
On
right?
on
That's one thing it's for sure.
on cigarettes, on liquor, all that
Hmm.
stuff everything is taxed.
Yep.
You know, I even got this deal set up with me when I sell a commercial packet or something, taxes are included. And
Yeah.
the way mine is set up, it automatically pulls out the sales tax and put it to the side. I don't even see it. So when it
Yeah.
comes,
So you can pay
yeah,
it.
so when it comes down time for me to pay my sales tax, like I did in January, which hurt my feelings, but you have to pay it because when people
Yep.
we talk about taxes, it covers a lot.
Very true. Tax covers a lot, and yeah, it's not just income taxes. Very true.
Yeah,
Yeah. And by living in the state of Texas, obviously we don't have state taxes.
yeah.
But don't just because we don't have state taxes, they get us with the property taxes. We more than make up for not having state taxes. That
And,
is for sure.
and you know what else they did that was slick when they said that the state wasn't going to raise any taxes. Everybody said, "Yay, yay!" But at that time, it was free to go into state parks. Then they started charging.
Oh,
That's how they
that's
made up the
that's
money.
how they offset it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly how they did it. And people didn't realize that. Did you read the fine print? They're gonna start charging going to state parks now when it was free.
Yeah.
So
People need to start asking questions
yeah,
and inquire.
and then
Especially when it comes to your personal finances,
oh
where you're personally putting your money.
yeah,
Call up whomever is holding your 401k. Have them walk you through your 401k statement quarterly,
mhm.
however you get it. You may get it quarterly or monthly. Sit down and have them walk through that with you. Because
All,
a lot of people, I mean, with so many clients that they have no idea what they're saying, how to even read their statement.
now that's
It's one of
sad.
those out of sight, out of mind type, mindsets. And that's because that's what we've been conditioned to do,
And trust.
right? And trust. Okay, but when when you get to age 60, 65, you look in retirement right in his face.
Yeah.
You're going to look back and wish you paid attention,
Oh
right?
yeah, I know
I'm
you're right
sounding
on
the
that one.
alarm now. Pay attention.
You sound the and you're right because when you sign up for a 401k, you don't look at anything. All you look at is what you're gonna put in there each paycheck,
Yeah.
and that's it.
You have no idea what's happening with that money.
Mm-mm. We know it ain't going in your pocket.
Yeah. And
And
is it really your money? Let me go ahead and see. You should have mentioned the 401k. Ron.
okay.
Is it really your money? Then you have to, you got to ask to take it out. You got to pay a penalty to use your money. No idea what's happening with that
Oh
money.
wow. Let me get that echo out.
Right?
There we go.
So the question is it really your money?
Yeah. Is it
The
really?
government
But
controls that.
answer that. Is it really their money?
Yeah. Is it? No, the government controls all of that.
And then if you take it out, they charge you. They charge you a penalty for
Yeah.
taking it out.
Charge a penalty, and you got to pay taxes on it.
And
Yeah.
sometimes penalty could be steep.
Yeah. It's a 10% penalty depending on how much you're trying to pull out. It's 10% of what you try to pull out. You're going to be penalized 10%.
Man.
Right. And then get the kicker though. When you get to retirement, right? Say you're in retirement and you're taking income from this 401k harvest that you've accumulated over the last 30, 40 years. Say you get around the age 73, 74, somewhere in that range. Say you have other avenues of making income and you don't really want to touch your 401k right now. No, buddy. The government gonna say, they gonna knock on your door. Mr. Ronald, I'm gonna need you to start pulling income from your 401k because I need to tax that. I need you to pay them taxes, even though you're not ready to pull money from that.
But that's
And guess what? You'll be penalized if you don't do that.
how much is that?
25%.
Oh, good God.
So again, ask yourself, is it really your money?
Yeah. So that'd be the best time for you when you of age to roll that money over somewhere else.
That's why you should, exactly. If you are looking at retirement real soon, right now, you're over the age of 59 and a half, move that money now. You can have more control over it and not the government.
Well, I'm in that 60 program. I'm over in that 60. I'm in the elite. I'm in the 60 program.
Yeah.
but
Yes.
but you're right, because nobody tells nobody this.
Oh,
It's almost like they don't want you to know.
they don't. They
So-
don't. The government probably hates us, financial consultants, and yeah, they hate us. They probably hate us.
So my question is, where does that 10%, that 25% goes? The penalty, where does it go?
To the government
And they broke?
of 34 trillion in the whole broke. Yes, sir.
Ooh, boy, don't y'all cut us off, because we're getting deep in this right now, because Facebook got a habit of chopping me off all the time.
Oh, they
But-
probably. Yeah, I probably shouldn't be talking too much about the government.
That's
'cause
all.
they
We could do that
They try to
anyway.
censor me.
Yeah. They did me already several times. The
Yeah.
end of last year and 3 times this year already.
Yeah.
You
They
know?
don't want to hear that. They don't want people to tell the truth and speak facts and really
Yeah.
educate people to where they
Mhm.
can make educated decisions when it comes to their money. They don't want that.
Yeah. So right now, if I get this right, if you under 59 years old, don't try to move your 401k or roll it over anywhere. Not
Well,
unless
if you're
not unless if you get another job that's got a 401, you can roll it over to your next one, right?
no, I would not do that either.
Okay.
It's a case by case basis. I don't want to make it blanket statements, right? I would say if you leave your job, do not leave that 401k with that job. There's
Okay.
other avenues and options for you to roll that over into something that is more protected. For example, a fixed index annuity. You need to speak with a financial professional, obviously, to kind of walk you through how to do that and to see if that really makes sense for you, right?
Okay.
If you are currently on your job and you have a current 401k now, you really can't touch it, right? Because you're still working with that company. My advice and my recommendation for that is if you choose to stay in a 401k, you are making contributions, only contribute up to what your employer is matching you. Don't contribute any more than that.
Okay.
Put the rest, if you have more that you want to, start saving for retirement, there's other avenues and other options where you could put that money. Don't contribute any more than the match.
And redefine print. So
And read the fine print.
Yeah, definitely
And pay
redefine
attention
print.
to your money. Pay attention to what's happening to your money.
Yeah.
And if you like it, then leave it there. If you don't like it, then do something about it.
All
Right?
right. Which I'm
Don't
gonna
just turn the blind eye.
okay. Which I'm gonna flip it on you, and I'm gonna change something on you, because so what about the people that play the stock market? They're always looking at the money on the stock market. What advice you have for people who play it, hit it, and they want to take it out and run with it, and keep
That's like a trader. Like, yeah, I mean, those are skilled individuals, right? Those are people
Yeah.
that they know the market, they know when to get in and get out, right?
Mhm.
That's not the majority of Americans, though, right?
Right.
These are people that by trade, they understand the stock market. Your average person does not understand the stock market, right?
Yeah.
So if they're comfortable doing that because they just have knowledge and they understand it, then, go for it, right? It's not a
Yeah.
bad thing. But I'm just speaking of those that, work a regular, a 9 to 5 in your career. And your career is not stock market related or understanding investments or anything like that. You're just working your job, right? And that's what your lane is. Your lane is not, what is my 401k money doing in the stock market?
Yeah.
Right. So to me, those are two different people. If that's, if they're working the stock market, that's because they're either self-trained, they understand how the stock market works, they understand when to get in and get out, and it could be very profitable for somebody like that. But that's not the average person.
Right. The only thing I understand is how to make money and spend and pay bills.
Okay. Right.
which
I will say I will teach you how to save.
well, I'm
That is the number one goal.
I tell you what, I am blessed right now because um we paid off the house already.
Nice.
My vehicle's paid off. We had to get another vehicle because the other one petered out on us. But we're gonna pay that off in 3 years
Good.
instead of the 7 years they're telling us. And so my wife is, when you get into a relationship, somebody's got to handle the money,
Hmm.
and I always handle the money. But when I met this woman right here, I said, here, here, because what I was doing, most of my check was going over, and I kept a small percentage so I could have my bowling money when I was doing the radio. Well, I'm still doing the radio station to help pay for things on that. But majority of it went over. I don't know what she did with it. I don't know. But I do know
She
one.
handled it.
But I do know one thing. Out the 6 years paying off my truck, we paid it off in 3 years.
Nice.
I said, "Oh, I'm not gonna mess with this. That's a good thing right there."
Yeah.
But the problem that comes in is when you got two people that want to do the money, and you got
Yeah.
one do it one way, one do it the other way, and this is where God comes in, and you got to have faith in that person that's taking care of everything. You don't have to wake up in the morning and find out why it's electricity off, and that person who's handling the bills. It's that
Yeah.
it's that trust thing you got to have that
Oh yeah.
everything's gonna be all right. I see a lot of couples; they're not couples anymore because of the reason I'm seeing right now. Both of them want to handle the money, and that's not
Yeah.
gonna happen. It takes one person in there. Now, it's okay if I went and I pulled out 50, 60, 100, maybe $200. Hey, I'm going to get in there, it's fine. But when it comes down to big ticket items, we talk about it first.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
then we find the best product, we talk about it, we agree upon, then we go ahead and get it. I
Right.
don't jump up and pull out $5,000 like I want to buy this. Oh no, I be missing a hand.
Yeah. Pretty much.
But but you have to sit down and with couples right now because the number one factor in divorce is money.
Honey, it is, and it's always been that. It's always been that way. That's
Yeah.
very true. That's very true. And because you rack up, and a lot of this is conditioning, right? Because we're conditioned to live this American dream, but is it really an American dream? Is it really the American dream to, get married, have kids, have a big house that you are indebted to, buy these cars that you are indebted to, right? And it's just a vicious cycle to where you will find yourself living paycheck to paycheck just to live the American dream. But I think we need to start redefining what the American dream actually looks like.
Yeah.
Because me, and this is something that I had come to the realization, something that COVID also taught me. The American dream is peace and freedom. American dream is having the ability to just have, not be in debt over
Yeah.
my head.
Exactly.
To be able to do what I like to do and go and come as I please. Right? Still be financially stable and have financial freedom to do so. Right? You can't have a whole lot of financial freedom if you're in debt up to your wazoo. Right?
Yeah. I knew you can really slip and say something, but I know what you mean. I'm glad you brought that up because I talked to this one guy about a year and a half ago. He was bragging about how he made it, and I'm listening to him. He's got a house that ran him almost $500,000.
Yeah.
He's got 2 cars. He's got one of those slingshots. He got a boat. He's got all that. And I said, so you basically almost $1 million in debt. Yeah, but I pay for it all the time. I said, do you have an emergency fund? Man, I don't need no emergency fund. You see, I made it already. I said, so what happens if you lose your job tomorrow?
That part.
He looked at me and said, I'm not playing. I said, let me tell you something. You could lose your job tomorrow and somebody will replace you the same time. An hour after you're gone, you'll be replaced.
Before your funeral is even
Yeah.
had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have not made it yet.
No.
You have not made it. Well, he said, well, what makes you so king who made it? I said, my house is paid for. Both vehicles are paid for. We out of debt. We don't owe nobody anything. I said,
Yeah.
I'm living the dream.
And you a business owner. You are entrepreneur. You entrepreneur. You don't.
Yeah,
You're not depending on the pay. You make your own money. You do your
exactly.
thing. Yeah.
And you know what I did for the past 2 weeks? I've been putting together my um, advertising rate package.
Mm-hmm.
What I found out what I was doing was I was making a blank thing across the board. This is how it is. Blank thing across the board. But a little birdie sat up and told me, which is the man upstairs, why do that? Customize your packet to fit that business.
Yeah.
If you do that and you give this to them, you give them two options and you send it to them, sit down and talk to them, I guarantee 90% of that you will sell.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I broke it
Absolutely.
down in packages for businesses and stuff, and I started sending things off today to
Good.
everybody. So I looked at it that way, and then once again, I got this. I don't know if you heard of Stripes. It's a deal that people could pay you on there, and that's when it takes out my taxes automatically and all
Yeah.
that stuff. And I don't do nothing. It takes out everything for me. And at the end of the year, it calculates everything and send me everything. I could file that. I could pay my quarterly taxes. All that is already taken care of. Which
Good.
my wife used to be an accountant, so she just don't know. When she finally retired, she's my in-house CPA.
Okay. Right.
But people have to utilize what they have
Mm-hmm.
and don't overthink something. I think that's part of the problem with some people with small business. They overthink or they want something so bad so fast. They're not
Yeah.
looking at the part of crawling.
You
And
got to crawl before you walk.
yeah,
Very
and I always say, is it a need or is it a want?
right. I have to ask myself that a lot, like too, as well. Do I need this, or is this just something that I want right now?
Mhm.
Right? Yeah. Very true.
I did that
Very
with beer where I stopped drinking. I said, do I need it? Do I want it? I said, I want it.
right.
And I need it. But that's one of the things right there. You don't have to be in business for that. Just in
No.
your own home. You see your next door neighbor putting up all this stuff in the house. It looks so good and you want it, but you don't need it.
No.
You got to come up with something of your own to put there.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense for you.
yeah,
That's-
make your house different from everybody else. You got to be different. Don't be what's that old saying? Keeping up with the Joneses.
Yes.
The
And
Joneses.
living above your means.
Oh yeah, the Joneses will break you, make you broke.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, they will, because you have no idea what the Joneses has going on.
Mhm.
You have no idea.
They probably just as broke as you are, but not telling
Right.
nobody.
Okay.
And both of y'all broke together.
right.
Yeah. So,
Very true.
what advice? One last question for you.
Mhm.
What advice would you give for a young couple that's starting off fresh? They're staying in an apartment right now. They got the vehicles. Let's say they owe 2 years on both the vehicles, and no kids yet. Um, I know one thing. My own personal opinion was get out that apartment and get something yourself. But what do you think they ought to do? Let's say they come in and tell you the exact thing I told you. What would you sit down there and talk to them about?
I would first talk to them and see where they are as far as, I mean, yeah, they say, I'm not too quick to tell a couple to get out and go buy a house. And this is the reason why, right? With home ownership comes a lot of expenses. Now, if you tell me, hey, we have this, 20, however much they have in the savings account, 20, 30,000. If you saying you got that, then maybe so, right? Because once you purchase that home, that is your home, right? And everything that breaks down is your responsibility.
Yeah.
Right. So I'd say, don't get into something and be house poor, right? Meaning all of your income is pretty much going to your mortgage. and you really have not much left. One. And two, if and right now, a lot of the way the housing market did and prices are, a lot of people are priced out. They can't even qualify because of how high things are, right? And another thing, and one thing I wish someone had told me when I got married and before we bought our first home, is try to find a home that you can afford off of that one income and not two incomes.
Yeah.
Right? Because when you think about that, you got two incomes. However, you qualify for a home with just that one income. So basically that other spouse's income has absolutely nothing to do with the house, right? So that's just like, I ain't gonna say free money, but that's money that you can save for your future, especially if you're looking to have kids. Obviously, you're looking to retire, right? So you're in a position where you're not overextended when you have a home that's priced or is at a price rate or price point that only one of your incomes qualified to get you.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, if you already living, if things are already tight as a renter, it will imagine how tight it would get as a homeowner.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It'll get real tight. So
when we bought our first home, we bought our home here. Literally that first week that we moved in, we had a complete sewer, just something happened. Completely all over the first level of the floor.
Oh man.
We had just put down new floors and everything. So think about that expense. We walked into that.
Yeah.
Unexpected, right?
You're right about that. You have some things going on that you're not prepared for.
Right. You have to prepare. You have to plan for that. You have to make sure you have, the funds available to rectify when things like that happen.
That's one thing that I still want to do this. I want to get together with new homeowners and let them know what type of tools they need to fix little things around the house.
You mentioned that last time we talked.
Yeah. And I still want to do that because I had somebody ask me the other day, Ron, when they call Ronald like you did. When somebody say Ronald to me, I say, "Oh, I'm in trouble." I think that's the third time I told them I'm in trouble. But They called me up and asked and said, "We got this young couple moving in. They don't have an idea what tools they need or what they want to do." And I said, "Okay, set up a meeting." I sit down and talk to them. First of all, I find out if any one of those two are mechanically inclined.
Yeah.
If they are, then yes, you could get some higher upper type of tools. But if you're not, I'll stick with the basics, where I don't want you to be a Huxtable. What's his name?
Which one?
The Bill Cosby, the dad. Cliff.
Oh yeah.
Cliff. I don't want you to be a Cliff Huxtable and fix everything, and the wife come around and hire somebody else to fix his damage.
That's about what I would do.
Yeah. So I will work with them and tell them this is what you need. These are all the tools you need. A lot of stuff be over your head, but as of the basic things, I could show you and let you know the right tools to get for that in order to do that, to save yourself some time and some money.
Yeah, very true.
But it's hard for that because, like I said, when you get a house, I don't care if it's brand new, something's gonna break.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, and you got to go into prepared for that.
Exactly.
Almost expecting it, right? Like if it does happen, you'll be prepared.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and you have to do that.
Yeah.
And I turn around and I watch it, and I think it's so funny to watch people doing things, and sometimes I don't say anything. I just watch them do it. Like my neighbor, for instance, he was trying to cut down this tree over there with a little old handsaw and stuff, and I looked at him and I said, "Should I help him?" I said, "Nah, but what I'm gonna do, I got some tools for him to use." So I had an electric chainsaw. He was trying to cut down a little tree and all that stuff. So I gave my electric chainsaw. I said, "Hey, you can use this to cut that down." "Oh man, thank you." He was on that one tree for almost 3 days.
Oh wow.
And I gave him that chainsaw. He cut it down in 5 minutes. He came back and told me, he said, "What tools you don't have?" I said, "Dude, I've been in home improvement for at least 15, 20 years. I got any tool you could think of to make my life a little easier."
Yeah.
So, I will help people out like that, but you just can't go out and turn around and say I can do this. Now I will give credit. YouTube will have things on there that will lead you in the right direction to do things.
Yeah, they do. Very true.
So
Yeah. We've YouTubed a lot of things around this house.
I do it right now to this day. I
Right.
YouTube everything.
Yeah, because when you're coming from, because obviously I'm not from Texas or San Antonio, so coming from where I am from, born and raised, we had handymen that we knew and trusted, right?
Right.
You come to a new, you're in a new city, new area, you don't know people, right?
Right.
So you don't have that trusted handyman that can come and she's the jack of all trades, right?
Right. And just and fix it up for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So any last how can people get a hold of you? Any last good information you give people?
I definitely say, well, obviously you can follow me on my Facebook page. It's Mykisha Jordan/McKay. I'm also going to put under your Facebook post, I will put our Eventbrite for our event on Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Strategic money moves. You do not want to miss a lot of these nuggets that we'll be dropping. I guarantee that whatever you hear there, you will be able to utilize it right away. And you will see the benefits of that. Other than that, I'd say, just keep in mind that there's a world of finances and money. Things are about to change, right? And be cognizant and mindful of your spending habits. Start if you aren't already saving, start saving for a rainy day, because we have not seen the last or the worst. COVID taught us one thing. It's taught us that we need to be prepared. So definitely one thing I want to leave with you, with your viewers and listeners.
I got heads up to that one right there for you. Well, young lady, thank you for coming back again. And y'all will start seeing her. If I'm right, maybe every 2 weeks.
Right.
I mean, not every 2 weeks, but the second week in of the month.
Yes.
But we got some other stuff coming up, and on Saturday we've been talking about we're gonna get that together. It probably won't come together until May and June, somewhere in there. But once we get that together, we'll be inviting people over and have them on the panel where we can sit down there and talk about finances and everything. Because sometimes it's best to be in person and talk
very
about
much so.
it. Yeah, and so you get a feel of people on. Are you really saving money? Yeah, I saved $2 last year. Yeah, okay. What happened to the rest of it? Well, I have a habit.
I saved $2.
Yeah, say what is your habit? I go shopping. It's retail therapy. I said, well, leave retail therapy alone.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
what you spend on that, and you can tell them again, is it a need or a want?
Right.
You
Very true.
you got to get in a different mindset.
You do. It is a mindset shift,
Yeah.
and it takes practice, because I have to check myself sometimes. Did I really need to buy that? Right. So I mean, it's a work in progress, right?
It is.
Yeah.
All right. We appreciate you coming on.
All right, Ron. I
catch
appreciate
next
you
time.
having me back.
Oh yeah, I'm glad.
right.
I'm glad she's back.
Yay. All right, Ron. Have a good one.
All right, you too.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, bye. All right, everybody. That was Mykisha right there, and financial expert. Yeah, she got it going on. Love it, love it, love it. So you can catch her. The replay it's right there right now on WSAN Radio SA and on YouTube, and we're still on Twitch and Facebook. She's got some stuff she's going on Facebook right now. She wants everybody to see and to share. Let me see if it's there right now. She haven't posted yet, but she will in a few. So we'll have that on there. As soon as she posts that, I'll share it with everybody. It's her event that's coming up on Monday at 7 p.m. So, and she said the key word is free. Okay, it's free. That's all I'm going to say about it, okay? All right, everybody. Appreciate everybody tuning in today. Keep on doing what you're doing. This is DJ Ron G on WSAN Radio. Ooh, Sheila Eby ran out of time again. What we gonna do with you, Sheila, to give time back? Anyway, we'll catch everybody on Monday morning, bright and early at 7 a.m. This is DJ Ron G on WSAN Radio. As we say every time, peace and chicken grease. We catch everybody next week. DJ Ron G, I'm out.
I love grow and grow. Do it like this, do it like that. Watch it get big and make it get fat. It'll blow me away. Fill me up and watch me explode. Do it like that. Watch it get big and make it fat. Oh baby, baby, blow me away. Make me lose control. Take me, relieve me, baby. Drain all this tension that I have inside. Make me feel good, baby. Baby, take your time and make me scream, make me scream. Come on, baby, do your thing. Come on, baby, do. You don't have to be ashamed to let your mind